Hello everybody, welcome, it's Ruth here. Before I go much further, I just want to check something out, whether or not I can change the mic. Okay, so those of you on the live who are used to me faffing around with this, please hold tight. And if you're new to my channel, I will be with you just in a sec. So I'm going to change the setting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, can you still hear me? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, let me know if this is a better system, because basically I've just flipped something so that the mic on my phone, I think, should be picking me up. So that should be interesting. All right, hello everybody. Oh, hi Georgiana. Sherry. This is just what I need. Spent the day having a chemical cardiac stress test. Oh, sweetheart, yes, you're in the right place. Come and chill with us. Hi Susan. Hi Patricia, hi Miss Kim. There we go. Okay. All right, so who enjoyed last night's Stamped One Sheet Wonder? I did. Every odd word. It's muffled. Oh. Okay, I can change it. Let me just... every other word. All right, let's just flip it back. Okay, it's back. Oh, more out than in. Okay, there we go. All right, I've changed it back. Okay, so I want to do one of my kind of what I call a junk journal, but it's not. Ooh, hold on. It's not strictly a junk journal that you may find on the rest of the internet, because if you just search for junk journals on YouTube, it's usually made from like literally scrap paper, recycled, upcycled books and things like that. My type of junk journaling is a little bit more based on using either stamped one sheet wonders that I've done, scrapbooking paper, and also really nice quality copy paper, because I like to give them as notebooks and to make them usable. So I know that my definition is a little bit different, but that it's my definition, and hopefully you'll stick around and watch what I do, and if you love it as much as I do, then you can have a go making it yourself. So I use the paper stroke card that comes with the designer series paper, and for some reason it's not liking my hold on, let me just move my wire. My wire isn't happy when I'm gonna have to get a new one. It's basically a connection from my phone. It doesn't like it. All right, here we go. So I'm going to cut this at 6 inches and then take off a couple of inches. I only need this to measure 10 by 6, and this is going to make the kind of outer cover for my little notebook. And I'm not going to fold a spine. I like to have a rounded spine for this. Actually, there's another option as well I might show you can do with this. So I picked out some papers that I felt kind of went with what I stamped yesterday. And I'm looking at this paper, and much as I love it, I feel that I don't like the white against the cream. Although I am going to end up with white pages, so I don't know. I was going to have this as a cover and then maybe stick that over the top, but I'm not sure I like it. Oh, actually, I prefer that. Oh, I prefer that. I'm going to have that as my cover instead. All right. So what I need to do now is cut off 4 inches from here. Yep, 4 inches. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, And if anyone who's watching wants me to do a class on it, a couple of years ago, they were really popular, me doing these classes, and I did quite a few. And so I'm guessing a lot of my current audience, probably 50% of you have done one. And then anyone that's new who would like to learn or have me guide them through it. I mean, you can just literally sit and watch me make one and do it yourself. But if you want to get together and do it with me, then I can put a class on for this. Okay, so I'm just applying glue all over my, oh, apologies for this. It's being a right pain. There we go. Try and get my light sorted. Okay. You made one of my journals for your nephew's mum. Oh, cute. Good, good, good. Just going to fix my seat. Oh, right, okay. I wasn't quite comfortable then. Right, so I'm flipping that over and basically trying to centralize that as much as possible. And then I'm just going to fold over the top, the bottom and the sides. Pretty much how I make any of my kind of books. And if you've ever had to cover books for school, you know, your exercise books, you all know this technique. Okay. I'm just going to cut off the corners. Just make sure when you cut off the corners, you don't go right up to the corner. And then glue, glue, glue. And I'm just going to go for it because I want to get this bit done quickly. Bone folder, and fold. Bone folder, and fold. Hi, Monica. Good to see you. This is very frustrating. This is a new wire that I bought a few weeks ago, and for some reason it's not connecting. It might be that my phone, because it's coming up to 3 years old now, it might be that the connector on it's just not as good as it used to be. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be getting a new phone too soon. All right, so here is the paper that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be folding that in half to make my pages for my book. I don't know if I need all of these, but I'll cut them ready anyway. Ah, let's just do it again. This is so annoying. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I took 6 of these. 1, 2. No, just 5. Okay, I'm going to get rid of 1. I'll just do 4. And fold this in. Oh, cut this in half rather. So because this is a British A4 sizing, I'm just going to cut it at 14.85, and that should be in the middle. Yep, that's great. And then basically fold this in half, although I need half of that. And half of that. And then you can put anything you want into the middle of your journal. So I've got this piece here. I'm just going to fold that in half. And then you just get loads of pieces of whatever you have on hand that you feel kind of matches with your theme. And you can use that. So I'm going to cut that there. And oh, I'll cut that bit off. I don't want that. And that can go in. And you don't have to fold it exactly in half. I quite like doing it staggered sometimes. And I'm going to probably just go over and grab a few more pieces of DSP and go through my junk box and see what else I want to put in here. So who has not made one of these? Oh, those papers look divine, Deb. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we've got some online exclusives coming out next month. And one of the packs of paper, it's a bit like, I think we had some similar paper a while back where it was like very naturals and nature kind of themed, but texture based. It's really fabulous. All right, I've got that piece. I've got a spare bit of that, so I'm going to cut that in half. Fold that in half as well. Maybe do one the other way. A bit of interest. And then I know I've got my Stamp One Sheet Wonder, but I'm thinking that this could probably go, one bit could go on as a cover, and then I'll cut some other pieces to maybe decorate some pockets and things. So normally I just have this as a rounded kind of spine, but one other option you can do is to actually score some lines down through the middle. And I picked that up from my friend Lorraine Wilson in Canada. Hi Lorraine, if you're watching. And so this is 10 inches wide, so 5 inches would be the halfway mark. So what I could do is maybe start at, oh, I don't know, say the 4 and I could start at the 4.5 mark. Basically just score and then move it up an eighth, score again, and basically every eighth of an inch just move up and score until you get to 5.5 inches, so that you have that inch in the middle scored, and it just makes it easier to kind of curve that spine over. So there we go. Can you see that? And then there we go. Kind of manipulate it a little bit if you want to as well. We're going to be punching holes in this later and stitching the signatures in, but there we go. It just makes it easier just to curve that over without it splitting. So there we go. There we go. That's nice. Looks quite professional as well, I have to say. Oh, thank you, Heather. All right, I'm going to grab out my scrap box. Well, my scrap file, my scrap box. I did have a quick look, and I couldn't find any colours that I liked. So I'm going to just have a look. I'm going to keep having my Stamp One Sheet Wonder here, and basically if it doesn't match, it's not going in. But I think that's not too bad. So peaches and greys and pinks and oh, maybe even no. I'm going to be strict. It's got to go. It's got to go with it. I may even raid my old Stamp One Sheet Wonders as well. I might get away with that. I really like that, but look, it's purple on the other side. It's kind of the wrong colour scheme. All right, we'll go with those. And then I was wondering whether to cut out a few of those really cute little envelopes and see if there's any way of me maybe attaching those to the spine, or just using them as little things that I could pop, you know, I could stick that maybe on the inside. Oh, talking of inside, I forgot I need to put something pretty on the inside of here. Oh, now I could use that one that I didn't like the back to. That one. Right, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to cut myself a piece that measures 5.5 by 9.5. This has got to be stuck on the inside. And I'll do that now because it will give it time to really dry. I'm paying special attention to that spine because it's going to take a bit of, it's going to be manipulated quite a bit. So I want to make sure that the paper is really stuck down well. So let's do that. Hi, Sally Mac. An OSW is a one-sheet wonder. Technically, I do stamped one-sheet wonders on this channel. So I love stamping a whole sheet of paper like this. So this is what I stamped last night. To be cut up to be used for projects, so either card making or making little mini books or scrapbooking. So in the paper craft world, one sheet wonder, the term one sheet wonder is used usually when using scrapbooking paper or designer series paper, and the idea is that you take one big sheet and then you cut it up into lots of different pieces and you use that one sheet to make lots of cards. So I've taken it a step further in that I like to design my own paper, and so mine tend to be stamped one sheet wonders. So that's what we call them. So I'm just going to cut this up into random pieces. I like to sometimes just not measure, just cut it up. And whatever the measurement is, that is going to be what it is, just to add to that kind of slightly more random feel. There we go. Hi, Charles. Welcome, Sally Mac. I made 40 plus bookmarks for the books bundle for on stage. Oh, fantastic, Deb. Oh, have a wonderful time. Hi, Jodie. Who else has come on? You love making them too. Oh, brilliant. What, stamp one sheet wonders or one cards? Are you new to my channel, Sally? I don't remember seeing you before. Yes, the measurement for the notebook is 10 by 6. Yeah. Right. I don't know if I've got. All right. I kind of want this design to go that way. Don't know if that's a bit too much there. Cut a section off that. All right, I'm hoping I've got enough stuff to be getting on. I'm going to start putting my sheets together. Now, if I had more time, I would stamp onto all these pieces of paper because I quite like making it a bit more unique than this, like just stamping. And so if you were wanting to do a really, really kind of full-on heartfelt project, you could use the stamps that you used for the one sheet wonder and just stamp things onto your piece of paper. Now, when I make these, I do design them to be notebooks. So it's not about creating a complete project for me. It's about creating a really pretty notebook that someone will want to write in. So I don't necessarily stamp on every single page. I like to stamp around the edges. So that's just a point of explanation there if you want to make one of these. Now, I'm going to create what's called signatures. So signatures are a bundle of pieces of paper that get folded in half that then gets stitched into a spine. And that's what we're going to do today, do 2 signatures. So here I have the notebook paper made from the copy paper, the nice quality copy paper. And what I like to do is make 2 piles. So here I have, put one pile, put that there and that there. So then I like to just go, right, I want one of those on there, and one of those on there, and then I might go, I want one of those on there, yep, one of those there, and then that there. Then put another sheet on top. Another sheet on top. And I do that. And then that. That. Then that. I want them to be different. So then one sheet there. One sheet there. Let's see what I've used so far. One of those there. And one of those there. Oh, hello, am I back again? There we go. And one of those. One of those. Then another one of those. Another one of those. See what I've got left. I've got one of those, one of those. Oh, make sure the birds are the right way up. Okay, I might just swap. Oh, that's the wrong way around. So you do sometimes need to check if you do want things in a specific direction. Actually, I'm going to swap that one for that one. Put that one in there. Just double check these. All right, so those don't have a direction, so that's okay. The birds are the right way up. around that way. Put that there. And I'm so sorry about this whole phone business. Let me just try and... Okay, behave. Oh, now I have got this space here. I could put an envelope in here. That's sometimes quite fun to do. Just grabbed an envelope and I'm folding it in half. Because I thought, if I fold that there, I don't really want the gluey bit, the gummy bit. So if I cut that off. Just fold that in half, then use that as guide. Okay, so once that's stitched in, potentially you could have two little tuck spots then in there. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, so when it comes to sewing it up, you need a nice thick, well, slightly large needle with quite a large eye and some twine. So I've got a kind of a combination of lots of different twines in here, and I'll just go for this one. This is fairly thin. Then you need your, what I call your third fingers. Your third fingers and your fourth fingers. These are your third fingers and fourth fingers. Here. And so what you do is you start just arranging your pieces of paper that are going to be in your junk journal, and make sure that they are not really protruding from your copy paper, and in the sort of areas that you want them to be. So I like to stagger these, because if you put them always in the middle like that, you end up with a notebook that's kind of chunky in the middle. And so if you're able to stagger like this, I suggest that that's a good thing to do. So actually, I think I want that first and then that over the top. Now, if you want to, you can trim that edge, but I don't mind it being as it is, so I'm going to leave it. Try and get it all nice and tight, and then use your third finger just to hold it together, just for a sec. All right, so do the same on this side. Arrange it. Oh, I've got a bit of colour on there. Don't actually want that. You can also use things like doilies and all kind of fun stuff, really. I'm going to swap that one out. Yeah, you can use different papers, and yes, I said doilies. You can use die cuts, as long as you can trap them when you're stitching it all together. You can use whatever you want. I wouldn't recommend anything thicker really than the Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper, because it's quite a lot to stitch through. Occasionally I will use like a piece of card that I've die cut with something pretty, but generally I don't recommend it. But that's for you to fiddle with. Okay. Hello, Vicky. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Vic. All right. So I'm just going to, again, hold that together while I get my needle ready. So we're going to do what I call the figure of 8 stitching, but I don't know if you have any other term for it. And so you need to make sure that you have, I'd say, about 3 times the width of the spine in thread. So obviously I need 2 of those because I'm doing 2 signatures. Pop the rest of that away. You also need to make sure that you've got your spine to hand. So I'm just going to make sure that this is curved, ready to go, ready to rock. Then the other thing that you're going to need, so we've got our spine, the 2 signatures. I've got my thread, and I'm going to thread one of those onto the needle now. And then we need just a strip of scrap paper. And we need that for a very technical reason. We need to be able to put the holes through our signature in the same places so that everything matches up. Oh dear, sorry, I'm really struggling to thread this. It's quite splitty thread. There we go, done it. All right, so just trying to find a strip. Actually, I probably threw away one. Oh, I can use that. It doesn't actually have to be as thick as this, but that's what I've got. So I would recommend that it's definitely the same width as the paper, or sorry, definitely the width or bigger. That's what I meant to say. I'm just going to go with the same width. Right, so we take this scrap strip of paper and we fold that in half, and that's going to help us find our central spot for our hole. And then I want to do 2 holes either side, and you kind of want to have it sort of fairly balanced really, so you don't want it to be too close to the middle and you don't want it to be too close to the end, so about there. And then so I'm going to then fold that in, and to make sure that we've got exactly the same amount of space on the other side, I'm just going to fold that piece of paper in half like that. You see, fold that in half, and I can see then exactly where to fold the other side to make sure it's marked. And then I would recommend folding horizontally so that you also get your holes in a row. It's a very simple way of just making sure everything lines up. Scrap bit of cardstock. There we go. All right, So what we're going to do, so the holes that I'm going to make, see if I can get a pencil and just, oh, now to a pencil, basically there, there, and there. So on my spine, folded that in half. I'm just going to lay that into my spine. And because this is the width of my paper, not my spine, my cover, it's smaller, but it's really easy to eyeball a little gap either side. And I know that that's in the middle. Okay, so I know that's in the middle. And that's folded over, that's nicely folded into there. So I'm just going to punch a hole so that I know where I'm kind of aiming for later. There we go. Make sure that's parallel. Just grabbing another peg just to hold that for me. See? Third fingers, third hands. Pegs are good for that. The other tool you can use if you don't, if your fingers are a bit weak, is the pokey tool. Oh, I did have it on my desk. I can't find it, but yeah, the pokey tool is quite good because it's got a decent handle on it. All right, so I've made my holes there. Actually, why am I doing that? I was going to punch them with my crocodile. Oh well, that's for reference anyway. I forgot about that. Oh dear. Okay, doesn't matter. All right, so same process again. I'm going to place my little fancy, really technical piece of cardstock into the spine like so. And actually, you know what? I'm going to set that aside for a second because I've just realised I do have to have these punched. Otherwise, I can't sew it together. So bear with. I've got to backtrack a bit. Now, I know not everyone's got one of these, and you don't have to have one of these to make one of these journals. You can just use the holes that you've made. But because I have this, I'm going to use it. So, just got to punch a hole here. And here. This is the Crocodile Big Bite. And the reason it's called a Big Bite is so that you can punch a hole in the middle of your cardstock. With the handheld Crocodile, you can't get in that this far. Okay, there you go. And I just want to do some little eyelets on there. Oh, I do have some pale pink ones. I'll do those ones. They're quite cute. They're a nice blush colour. So then you just move your setting right to there. And then you put your eyelets on there. And then you lay it over the setter. Make sure your setting's correct, actually. Hi, Mr. News. And there we go. It sets it. If you ever purchase one of these, make sure you do read the instructions, because there are different settings depending on the size of eyelets that you're using. Okay, right, all done. Right, back to the stitching. So the reason I needed to have that done is because we're going to be sewing our signature straight in. So I'm just going to make sure I've created the holes for them first. So on there. On there. This would definitely have been easier if I'd got my pokey tool out. But... okay, don't need that now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the middle first. And then through the middle of my signature. Then it doesn't matter which side you go to, left or right, does not matter. But then you've got to go through the corresponding eyelet. And make sure everything comes through that needs to come through. Make sure you don't pull so hard that this comes out the hole. And this is going to go through to the opposite eyelet. And then this is the tricky bit, because you've got to make sure, again, you go through all your sheets, and then you just go through. You have to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to do that. Okay, that's done. That's in. And then this has got to go through the middle. Now, this is probably the most trickiest bit, only because you do not want to split the thread that came through the middle. So I kind of try and pull that over to one side. And then get it through. Now, once your needle is through, you also want the needle to come out on the other side of the piece of thread that's going across the spine. So you've got one piece coming from one side and one out on the other, like so. Yeah, who's doing white ink class with me tomorrow? We've still got spaces if anyone wants to do it. And then you just tie a knot. When you've made sure that everything is nice and tight here, you can tie your knot. I'm actually going to not tie it too tight, because I need to kind of make space for, I might just have to loosen it a little bit so that, I'm not sure I'm going to, hold on, Ruth, what am I doing? Right, I'm just going to loosen that a little bit, because I've got to get my other signature in yet. All right, so while I'm faffing around with my other signature, I'm just going to clip these out the way. Right, second piece of thread. I hope you're all following me so far. If you if you do want to do a class with me, please just email me and let me know if you'd like to do this as a class. It probably will be April time, I think, if I do one of these, because I've still got to schedule that mini book one. I was going to do that in April sometime. If you would like to do the first class in Stamped One Sheet Wonder stamping, so there's one that I call Class 1, and that's a really great one if you are kind of a little bit nervous about completely stamping over a whole sheet of cardstock. I do recommend that one, but that's one that a lot of my regular viewers have already done. So if you're new to my channel and you'd like to have a go with that, I'm happy to schedule one if there are a few people who are interested in it. And yeah, I'll just schedule it. but I do need a minimum really of 6 people for the class to go ahead. You're already booked, already busy. You're a busy lady, Karen. Yes, if you do take one of my classes, all that you need is a computer or laptop in your craft space by your crafting area. You need to be able to have Zoom, so download the Zoom program on it. You don't have to pay for Zoom, I've already done that. You just need to have it on your computer, and a camera as well. All right, so just repeating what the steps again. So you go through the middle, up through the middle. Now hold on, I've got to make sure I've got this the right way up. No, it's not the right way up. Okay, let me just turn this all around. There we go. Up through the middle. Sometimes you have to wiggle to go through. Down and through the eyelet. Again, you might have to wiggle, but I didn't have to this time. Right, let's move those out the way. Then through the top eyelet. If I do that first, it's just easier to then try and stitch it once that's through, and then through the top holes there. Oop. Rethread. Yes, it's ruthtrice@gmail.com. Let's see if I can get my email to show. There we go. There's my email. I mean, there are folks who've taken my class 1 a few times. Not because they haven't learned anything, they just really like taking it. And they want to get the teaching in their heads. Okay. So I'm just trying to sort out my threads. I got a little bit confused. There we go. Okay, so now I can pull everything tight. Let's move that out of the way. I've got my 2. See, I've got my 2 going through the middle there, and then I've got threads either side of both of them. So just double checking that everything is, if there are pages that have direction to them, that they're in the right direction. And I've got my envelopes that open at the top. My birds are facing the right direction. Yep. All good. Right, so then once you've checked all that, that's when you can tie these off. So, just do a reef knot, so right over left, then left over right. You could do a bow if you want to. You can also decorate by adding beads and things. The only thing I would caution against is that if this area becomes too bulky, it's hard to actually write in your book. So if you do want to attach something like a bookmark or some beads, just make sure that any of the beads hang below or above where the book is, so that when you lay it down, the bulky bits are out the way. Oh, I can get rid of that email now, can't I? That's a bit big, isn't it? Got that email now. This will be your third white ink class. Oh, Shaz, I think I need to start giving out awards. That's so cool. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. All right, so back to the Stamp One Sheet Wonder, which was the whole kind of inspiration for this, which I've lost. Oh, there it is. Where's it gone? All right, so back to the beginning. Hi, Janice. So this whole little book has been inspired by this, and so now I want to decorate this and put a panel, probably on a panel on the front and maybe even a panel on the back. Let's do it. Let's just go the whole hog and enjoy it. I could probably actually, if I cut that like that, I could have a panel that's got a book in it there and a book in it there, couldn't I? That'll work. So how much of this can I cut before getting into that book there? Oh, 7. In my head, I had the number 7. You know what? I'm just going to do that there and then use up that whole length there. So just cut that at 10.5. So cut that in half. And I'm thinking it would be nice to frame that with another colour. So I don't know, I think pink would be quite nice. It will kind of pull in the pink from there, wouldn't it? Oh, let's just have a moment. We haven't got Blushing Bride anymore. Unless I go and get some Blushing Bride out. I'm sure I have some scraps, but Bubble Bath will just have to do. And I hopefully can find it very easily because I sorted out my scraps the other day. Made sure I had plastic little baggies. So just if anyone's interested, I store all my scraps in A4 plastic grip seal bags. So as soon as I've got a scrappy bit, I pop it in there. Oh, now have I got enough? Oh, just got enough for that. Right, I'll pop those in there for another day. So I need 2 pieces of 7.5 by 7.5 by 11, just to give a little framing to my Stamped One Sheet Wonder. Thank you, Vicky. Oh yeah, please do follow. So anyone who's got a channel, please do a shout out now. Janice, do follow Janice, Jazzle Dazzle Crafts. Denise has got a channel. Is Monica still on here? Who? Oh, Designer Cards by Deb. Deb, do you have a channel? I think you do, don't you? Let's do a channel shout out. While I'm sticking these, while I'm still thinking about what else I'm going to do. Oh, I want to cut some little envelopes, don't I? What's the time? Okay. So this would make such a lovely notebook for someone who's into books. My daughter likes writing lists of books that she's read. So that would be quite fun. Now, the other thing I can do also is put a ribbon through the middle to tie it up. And the threads that you've got here Don't cut those too soon until you've decided what you want to do, because I might put a ribbon through there and then tie the threads around the ribbon. So that's quite a fun option for closures. Okay, stick, 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 stick. Right, then I wanted to do an envelope on the inside here. Oh, you were being good up to now, phone. Ugh, right, this is just an example of what it looks like. But I would like to do a little pocket in here and one here. So I'm just going to grab my die cutting machine out for a second. My good old cut and emboss machine. I also need to find some paper that will match. What we're going for, peaches and so forth. Oh, have I got any peach left? That one. Oh, that one and that one. Right, there's my plates. There's my die. Thank you, Denise. Oh yes, Georgiana has a channel. Ellen has a channel. Vicky has a channel. We're trying to persuade Vicky to do more on hers. All right, so those will go in, and then I do have this die which cuts out little cards that fit perfectly in here, and I'm wondering whether to cut up some scrap pieces of cardstock. Sorry, just trying to find. Oh, just found these little bits. Oh no, that fit. Oh, it's cutting it fine. That one definitely will. Just trying to think if I got some scrap bits that I can use. Oh, that one. You know what? I'm going to cut them together. Just be easier. Hi, Alison. No, you don't have to do a live to be a recommended, Vic. You have got videos on there, though, haven't you? Oh, I've just found another bit of scrap stuff. I'm just going to see if I can cut something out of there. It's got a little bit of a crease in it, but I think once it's stuck down, it'll be fine. Oh, hi, Gigi. Are you okay? Oh, yes, because I just remembered I've got those pockets in the middle of one of the that I made with the envelope. So I'm thinking, oh, it would be nice to do. Do that and that. Oh, I'm trying to save as much of this one sheet wonder as possible. I'm going to measure the size of the. Okay, so it's about 2¼ inches, just under. I'm going to go to 2 1/8 because I want to not keep that bit of the book. I wonder if I'm going to have to use some washi tape to cut it so really precisely. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, incidentally, the thumbnail that I put up for yesterday's One Sheet Wonder, the first thumbnail is changed now, so you can't go back and look at it, was actually AI generated paper. I used a program that I've got and just put in some prompts like vintage, I think I put books, vintage, floral or something, and that's what it came out with. That was quite nice. Hello, Jenny. I've been watching on TV but moved to my iPad so I can comment in chat to say hi. Yay! Deb has got a caravan to unpack from your 3 weeks away. Oh, wow. I hope that goes well. Oh, come on, phone. All right, so let's start making these up. Oh, and while I'm up, I'm going to get some ribbon. I want something kind of wide to go through here. Wide-ish, she says. I've got that peachy. That'll be nice. Let's go with that. Sometimes I like to layer it as well. Have I got any? Ooh. Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, yeah. So yeah, so I sometimes like to layer ribbon and do a couple of different layers. Right, how much am I going to need? Enough to wrap around and then do a tie. So that amount. Oh, I've only got that amount on there. Will that be enough? No. Oh, that's sad. Not quite enough to do a nice frou-frou bow. Oh well. I have got, though, some of this grosgrain. That's gonna have to do. And actually, it kind of works a bit better because it's thinner. The other stuff was a very similar size. So. Okay, so to attach this, we want a similar amount on both sides. I'm going to lay that over the top of that and trap the ribbon with the threads that I've got here, just to make them stay put. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to pull it too tight because I don't want to distort the ribbon, just want it flat. Okay, get one of my pegs back again. And the other thing I'm going to grab is some double-sided tape to make my life a bit easier. So what I'm going to do is put a bit of tape just through the middle there and on the back. So when I used to do this class, I used to allow 3 hours for you guys, because the thing that takes the longest, I mean, it is a bit technical, but also just when you start going through all your scraps, just taking the time to play and see what looks good next to things, that is what takes up the time if you haven't got a clear vision of where you're going with it. So if I am to do this class, I would say you need to do a little bit of work to get the work done in the time. You do need to do a little bit of work of assembling the things that you want to use, and maybe having a Stamp One Sheet Wonder that you have as your theme, or just some really beautiful DSP as your theme. I just want to check that that covers that. Yeah. And because throughout the years, Stampin' Up, whenever they do these DSP packs, they usually have one design that's really, really beautiful. Like it's got loads of florals on it or something, or lots of really intricate design. And those tend to be the pages that I keep for best, that I don't use up very quickly. But they make a really lovely kind of feature for the front of an album, like something, you know, like this. So I would grab that and have that as my inspiration, and then go through my scraps and try and match up my papers to go with that focal piece one. Either that, a Stamp One Sheet Wonder, and DSP to match it. Or some people like to go random and they really don't care what they put together. They genuinely make it a proper junk journal. Yeah. All right, so the reason I'm just putting those bits of tape down is so that they don't move around when I come to glue my panels on. So now I've got to decide which one on the front. I think I might go for that one. Oh, right. You have a full roll. Oh. Oh. Oh, Vicky. Jenny's taking me with her up the stairs. That's going to go on the front. Right, how long have I been? Oh, okay, an hour and 10 minutes. That's not too bad. Not too bad for a project like this. A word of caution when choosing the ribbon that you want to use. I would not generally advise a ribbon like a linen ribbon, or anything that will fray and wear over time, because if this is a usable book, you're going to be using it regularly, you've got to be able to tie that ribbon and untie it and it not fray. So the reason I say that, let me show you. I know I probably do this every time I make these books, but this ribbon here is really beautiful, and I used it once to make a junk journal and I regretted it because over time this wore away and frayed, and I think it might be because of its kind of makeup. Actually, no, it's polyester. I take that all back, what I just said about it being natural. Yeah, just it might be worth doing a test on it, like tying a bow, untying it, tie a bow, untie it. But this did not work. It just frayed. So I would recommend just a straight edge ribbon. All right, so that's that. Right, these middle pieces, I just wanted to have those open and pop. That's going to go in there like that. So these two, I'm just going to stick those together. I guess I could do some kind of tab thing, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's have a think about it. I'm just sticking that over the top of the same shape just to thicken it up a bit. Just thought that'd be nice to insert into there. Yeah, I kind of think it needs a thread maybe so that it hangs out, so it's easier to get it out again, because that could be for some journaling on the back of the tag, or a poem or a verse, whatever you want. You know what, I'm just going to mark it because I know that I'm not going to get it in the right place. See some of this. Thank you, Shaz. Oh, see you, Denise. Take care. See you tomorrow. I was wondering if I had a spare bit of paper to line the inside of that. Yep. There we go. I'm just going to have those draped down. Right, nearly there. Just got to make my little pockets to go on the inside. Now, regretfully, there's blue on the inside of here, and that wasn't part of my colour scheme, but that's fine. I suppose I've got a little bit of blue with those bluebirds there. So now my thought was to then cut another piece of that stamp one sheet wonder and stick it on the front there, or the other option is that we just literally do that and then you just tuck things in there, but I'm not sure I like that. I think I like that. Okay, let's do it. I'll do this one as well. I've got some other plans for these little envelopes. The other day I made a little book out of them, didn't I? And I think they just make great little inserts for mini books. They're a perfect little size. Stick that there. Take care, Heather. Nice to see you. I know, I'm off soon too. Nearly finished. Oh, I need to cut another one of these, don't I? I got distracted. I cut the two for the middle, didn't I? But I forgot to do this one. Okay. Nope, too big. I'm like scouring my scraps now, going, oh, what can I use to cut that up? Oh, there's one more of those. Okay, I'll use that. Got a bit of that. Right, let's cut that out. And I don't even have to glue it now because I've done it. Oh yes, Sally, the die is part of the Grow with Love set. It's this stamp set and that, and then the dies that match it is the Grow with Love dies. Obviously you can buy the dies on their own, you don't have to have the set as well, but it's a bundle and you save 10% if you buy the two together, and it's one of the online exclusives, so it's available now if you want it. So the other dies in there are ones that cut out the herbs, and there's two layers to it, and also some circles to make what they're called, like hole reinforcers, and that, and also these like seed packet type things, like labels. Yeah, Grow with Love dies. Yeah, so you'd put the little circle things over there and one there, and then you could like put a bit of string to go, but I obviously didn't think of that at the time, so I didn't do it. All right, so here I could probably tie a bow now. And trim the excess. And as I said, because I didn't tie that super tight. Oh, sorry. I didn't tie that really tight, so it still remains quite flat across there. And then you've got it lying there so that you can tie the two together. And you've got that lovely big frou-frou bow there. All right, let me move some of my stuff out of the way, and then I'll just run through everything. Okay, so I took inspiration from the Stamp One Sheet Wonder that I did last night, this one here, and chose some DSP to kind of coordinate and match it Use the pocket dies available. The pocket that you folded. The pocket that I folded. Not you're not referring to this one, Sally. You're talking about the one in the middle. Ah, I will show you what that is. That's an envelope. I will show it to you now. Okay, so I used part of the Stamp One Sheet Wonder to decorate the front and the back of my junky notebook. Then it's got two signatures. So signatures are a kind of clump of papers, as you can see. Actually, I could have put some paper going round that. I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, so that die cut out the two little envelopes that are on the front and the back cover, and they hold little labels there. And then inside we have lots of different bits of paper as well as the notebook paper. Now you can also add, like if you wanted to put a pocket onto there, you could do as well. So I've got all those. And then this is actually an envelope that's been stitched into the middle. And I then cut off the gummy bit, because I'm always a bit aware that if you have anything gummy and it gets damp, it will stick, and you don't necessarily want to have that in a book like this. And then I cut a little section out the middle, and that's just an envelope stitched through the middle. And you could put it, you could put it as part of it. I don't know why I didn't even think of that either. You could have put it in here if you wanted to, but that just makes a nice little envelope. I could decorate that further as well. I might do that, yeah. Or might not. I might forget. Or the person receiving it can just put notes on it. Okay, so then you've got the reverse then of all the pieces of paper that went in on the other side. It's nice to use vellum sometimes. And then we have the second signature, which has similar colours and papers. And then right in the middle, and again, repeats it until we get to the end. And then you have another little pocket there. So there you have it. I've only used less than half, I think. I've got just over half left of this to use for another project. So there we go. All right, is there any other questions while I'm here? Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And get the die set. Grow with Love. There we go. And that was the kind of the stamp set that I based that Stamp One Sheet Wonder on. I really wanted to use that stamp there. And the little glasses. Yeah, so Grow with Love dies is 164803. Oh, it's frozen. There you go. All right. Thank you, everybody. Do let me know if you're interested in doing a class with me. And yeah, just email me and I'll be happy to put one on at some point. So thank you, everybody. And do have a go making these. There are other videos that are very similar to what I've just done tonight in terms of the process. Some might vary a little bit, but the general structure is pretty much the same every time I do one of these. And there are lots of other people who do similar books as well out there. It's not unique to me, but I like to think that I do it in my unique way, using my stamp paper. All right, lovelies. Thank you so much. Sally, if you have any further questions, please do email me or pop a question in the comments and I'll be pleased to help you. Take care, everybody. Now, tomorrow I've got the white ink class, so I'm not sure if I'll come on live because my two boys are coming home for the weekend. So I want to go and kind of hang out with them after class. So I think I might skip out Fridays